Alright, welcome back. It's Peter or Mask Momentum here, and we're back with a banger today for another looking at AGE top 4 today. We just did top 8, and we're looking at a top 4, and we got two powerhouses, honestly, this of the SoCal community. You know, we got Alan and then versus Zayne here. Just some absolutely banger players here. And let's look at it. Like, obviously Zayn, I guess commonly known as one of Yuki's testing partners on the same team as Yuki, which obviously amazing testing group, obviously, and Ranger Fanatic. So as you know, Zayn playing Azalea here has that beautiful Marvel, and then Alan, you know, one of the most like known Bravo players I pretty much know in the SoCal community, just has always been on Bravo the last like almost, I want to say, year. I've seen he used to be part of NorCal and then moved down to SoCal, so pretty excited to see him there. Just SoCal just getting better and better every single time I make the drive down. But some amazing semifinal action here. If top 4 of this AGE, let's just get right into it here. Looks like Alan's first seed was XO, going into top 8, won his quarterfinal matchup, and now playing the semifinals. Let's see what we got here. He's going to pitch a Fate for Scene to make a seismic search token, and he is going to just pass the turn over to Zayne. Zayne is using perch grapplers, which I would assume is pretty normal, especially versus Bravo specifically in this matchup. Has a Crow's Nest, Death Dealer, not going with any like fancy bows, just going with the straight Death Dealer here, which I like Death Dealer builds a lot better than any of the other ones here. So, and uniquely, Alan is playing Tectonic Blading. I know his list, after looking at it after the fact, is more on a he is more on a Tectonic Plating, like traditional kind of a build, instead of like those new new Fiendals Spring Tunic builds that are playing a lot of the 4-for-8s. I think Alan's still playing like Red Chokeslam, I would assume, but isn't going to be playing like, I don't know, all the other 4-for-8s that I've seen a lot of the other ones play. So just Zayn is just attacking for 4 here. Does have Go again, but it probably doesn't have another attack after this. It's probably just going to attack for 4 here, you know, arsenal a random card, and then have that 5-card hand that Azalea like what likes to have. Probably doesn't have, you know, a pump in this hand or not. And let's see what Alan, because Alan obviously pitched a Fate for Scene for that seismic search token, so he probably has a little bit probably redundant amount of reds in his hand from that turn 0. Is there a block with Crater Fist just for 2? Just a Crater Fist gamer here. Takes 2. There's gonna pass. Okay, yeah, just blocking for 2 here. Maybe they're maybe scared of maybe a pump going and giving Go again over, and then it can react with his defense reaction. But it's gonna pitch. So make a seismic with that D-react, and then pitch for that Crippling Crush from his arsenal. Putting a lot of pressure on early from Alan, just having going just a raw Crippling Crush. Like, obviously it's like not dominated, so it's not gonna hit entirely, you know, has that extra defensive reaction. The last card in his hand definitely wasn't a per se like blue, or he would have dominated it most likely. But oh, and Zayn has a Sink Below from Arsenal here, so is gonna block a 6, a 10 with the Sink Below, filter that card, take 1. On Zone Arsenal, go to the next one here. Looks like Alan draws like double spinal, double blue here, so a little Oh, and we got the Eye of Ophidia from Zayn. Love the Eye of Ophidia here. I always think like playing Fables in decks more often should be a thing. I think Eye of Ophidia, like obviously, you blind Azalea, Eye of Ophidia probably feels terrible, but I do think the Eye of Ophidia pitch is pretty good just to filter. It doesn't actually load anything with the Death Dealer here. After blocking a Sniff would come out, probably just has a pump in hand. I would assume that he's arsenaling, maybe another defensive reaction if he's playing a significant amount of them. But let's see where this goes. Okay, so Alan pitching to make a seismic surge, and then has enough because of the surge to dominate this spinal here. Pretty good here, dominating the spinal. Can't get go again or anything. Marvel is like really just trying to smack Azalea all over, make it so she can't just, you know, keep cycling these arsenal cards over and over and over again, and really just have her play your game plan and react to what you're trying to do, and hopefully not whiff as Bravo, obviously. Something that these, you know, say it again, these Marvel characters look so nice here, dude. This just one of my absolute favorite things they did was just these Marvel full art characters that are cold foil. The Kano one obviously looks amazing. I love the Kano one significantly, but these two, you know, looking great. If you look at the player cam, you know, Eugene in the back there, you know, laughing at some jokes. You know, let's look how guys always for the laughter. They love the game a lot. It's really a nice community. If you have any chance of going to SoCal ever to play one of these AGEs, I would definitely do it. Or just in SoCal, go to any one of those like local scenes. Just talk with any of the locals. Oh man, it's great. Looks like Zane's just passing. Just blocks with one card and passes. Doesn't even. Whew, that sucks. Alan, dominate. Gonna play a like seismic, dominates, crippling crush. Oh man, this is not a good start for him, Zayn, at all here. Looks like he just has a whole bunch of pumps in hand. Had a block with the blue, then just passes back over after the spinal here, and looks like just gonna take 11, going to 22 here, and has to discard 2 cards as well. This is an amazing start for Alan, and looks terrible for Zayn, but it can still come back. But oh, this is a little bit of a rough one here, obviously. Alright, I'm gonna use Crosswrap. Has a Rain Razors in his arsenal here. Opt in 1 with that Crosswrap here. Leaves it on top, so it's probably a decently good one. Is going to have, you know, that draw. Ooh, has a Battering Bolt as well. So he's going to come in for 8 though. So he's going to choose just to draw that card and then like leave it there. So you have 8 with the Battering Bolt. Just takes the full 8 and just reveals his entire hand, which is a pretty strong hand here. Got the Starstruck as well. Has multiple go-agains, I believe. Has the Rouse. Yep, has Rouse. It's not going to go with the Starstruck play. He's going to go with the Rouse play instead. So Rouse for 7 with go-again. Just putting on an immense amount of pressure here. Zayn at 22, you know, already at half his life total, already gone. You know, had to take you know, that spinal, dominated, then took the full 11 from that crippling crush, and is now facing down to 7 with go again off that Rouse of the Ancients. take 3. So block 3, take 4 here. Let's see what else happens here. Oh, and he has a lightning strike from Arsenal. And so you go 5, go again. So 7, 5 into 6 here, presenting 18 damage with a 5-card hand from Bravo here. Quite good, especially because you're already in the driver's seat. Just want to put that max amount of pressure on this Azalea. Don't allow her to play the game or have those turns to get back at it. Zayne all the way down to 13. He's gonna swing that hammer. Gonna take 6, go to 7. Oh man, this looks terrible from this position, but you know, keeps a 3-card hand plus the Arsenal, so it has a basically a 4-card hand going into the next set. Let's see what Zayne can do as Azalea to get in there, because this one's looking kind of rough here. I ain't gonna lie, from on Zayne's point of view, right? The ways to get in here is like if Alan kind of like whiffs on a red attack coming through. He's already used a decent amount of them going through. He's no blind. Okay, so gets the Azalea, hits the pump. He's gonna opt here for 3. Looks like he has a Codex in hand, 2 other cards. Don't know what they are. Some beautiful cards from Zayne as well. It has 2 more pumps plus this Codex. Just gonna put a card in. Okay, Codex of Ferality here. That's that marble one. It's gonna look like he's gonna take the Blood Rot run, the 1 for 5 that he can play out the Tunic on this turn as well. Alan's gonna have to put discard a card and put a card in his arsenal as well. We have 3, 6, 9 plus the that's Arizona coming for 14 here. Would be at least a Blood Rot. I don't know what that pump in the middle is. Frailty. So there's going to be another Frailty. So there's Blood Rot, Frailty, Ponder, all from that arrow coming through. He already has 1 Frailty. Then Azalea obviously has the Ponder from the Codex as well. Alan has, Crippling Crush, Spinal. He has, Rouse and E-Straight. He has the full arsenal, whatever he really wants from his graveyard here. Discard a card. Only will have 3 cards in his hand, and this arrow is coming in for 14. So this is a way toward Zayne can come back into the game here. Obviously, coming in for 14 has significant amount of stuff coming through. If he takes 14, and then say the Blood Rat comes in, so that's 16, it would go to 14. He could dominate a Crippling Crush if with triple dominate Crippling Crush for 10. You could block with 3, 4, 6. If you use 7 with all of his equipment, take 3 to 4, but still. I say we're looking at it. It has 14 here. Blood Rot on hit. Use Crown. Tectonic Plating. Card plus that red removable here. So blocking for 10, 14. Exactly 14 here. Puts that back in. Just gonna pass back. Puts that E-Strike in his arsenal, so he can go for like 5 go again into Swing Anathos, or just come in with a 7 off the E-Strike or something like that if he wants, or it could go 5 go again into like a CNC. But it does give Zayne a 5-card hand, so he has a little bit of breathing room. Obviously, it's 7 to 30, so Zayne needs some pretty much insane turns to come back at this point. But Azalea can definitely make it so like your blocks are really tough, or it's gonna make it so he has a significant amount of influence on if you're going to block certain things. You're gonna take a lot of damage or a lot of random on hits, red in the ledger sometimes, or just like the flurry of arrows from Azalea is just super hard to deal with a lot of the time, and this is exactly where she can shine. If she's a little bit behind, can close this gap. It's 7 to 30, but she can close this gap a little bit to see if it will matter in this game. Alan's looking like he has a E-Strike, 2 blues and a CNC in his hand. But we're looking to knock the death whistle. Already has a card in his arsenal, so the reload isn't going to matter too much, but it is going to put a card to the very top. Has the fatigue shot from Azalea. I know Zayne's list is pretty interesting. He has a whole bunch of 2-ofs in his list, so he's looking at more of like kind of like a toolbox. Has like pretty much everything you can do in the list. Probably has an extensive sideboard plan for a lot of matchups, just at the flexibility of his deck list, right? So has the fatigue shot for this matchup specifically as well. Nox gonna put that on top. Okay, isn't an Azalea. Is gonna have dominate here. See how many pumps he has in his hand. Have a search and destroy. Just 1 pump, so just to come in for 8. With the search and destroy. Knows that he doesn't have a defensive reaction in his arsenal, so this is always going to hit. Unless he has like red and movable, another one, but he's already played 1. So he's gonna block 3, take 5 here, go 25. He has to play this E-strike from his arsenal, and the first thing is gonna get halved because of that fatigue shot here. So what you can do here is he has another E-strike CNC there, so you can E-strike just for a go again, come in for, I don't know, I think 3, I think it rounds up, so 3, and then, I don't know if it runs up or down, I don't really remember, but either 2 for 3 or coming in, and then you can CNC pressure this card from his arsenal. And then doesn't really want to take it either, because it just kind of messes with a lot of things you can do. Okay, so it does half running up, so it's going to be a 3. Exchange to make the seismic here. And CNCs, which is quite good here. See how Zayn reacts to this. If he has like multiple pumps in hand, he's going to have to block with like 3 cards here, unless he wants to let his arsenal destroy. But he only has 7 life, he can't really play around too much as well. Because if you're not putting enough pressure on Alan, he's just gonna kind of like dominate whatever attack he gets, and if it has a good on hit, or honestly, if it's crippling pressure, you think you almost die because it's 3, 4. You have 4 equipment plus 3 block from hand, which is gonna be 7. So you take 4 to 3, and you still get crushed too, which is not the best. I'd say not the best. So block 6 here, does have double arrow. Just have 1 card in hand. See if Zayn has a play here. Depend if he arsenaled an arrow. You did arsenal an arrow, so it does have the opt for that cross trap here. Looks like Alan's hand. Looks like there's some Thunderquakes. Looks like 3 Thunderquakes. And another promo, which I can't see. I think there might be a macho. So 3 Thunderquakes and a macho, if I can see his hand correctly from this angle. So ain't a way to kill Zayn instantly, but 2 dominates will pretty much always kill him. So, but there's the remorseless here. But Alec can kind of no block for 2 turns and dominate twice if he really wants to, or he can block with 1 card and then come in, maybe or 2 cards, and then just swing Anathos for 6, and then he's always gonna win that equation a lot of the time. Okay, so he's just son of a bitch coming for 5 with the remorseless after opting. Block 3, take 2. Remorseless obviously seems to be active, but I don't think he's gonna mind too much. Makes another seismic. Pitch, plays that Thunderquake, coming in for 8. Take the 1. 722 here. So block 6. Yeah, take 2. Go to 5. I always forget if Deadshot, I think it's Dead Eye, the yellow one that has +3 gives is a block 3 or block 2. The pumps are a little bit weird. Seen a lot of like the new cards from the new set. Some of them I'm like, damn, this is a block 3. Some of them are a block 2. Looks like he's rattling. Ravenous Rabble hits a yellow on top, so it's only for 3, not even that 4 here. The 3 go again versus Alan. We have. Doesn't look like he has a strong hand. He has like a red immovable here, so looks like red immovable, Showtime, one of those star sharks that 10 power, another blue here. So 2 blues, a yellow, and a red. Looks like that removable. Blocks of 3. Ooh, has a Codex. Codex get the fatigue shot. This is gonna make Alan discard another card. Alan can do basically the same thing he did last time with the Easter egg. Put that into the arsenal. Discard pretty much anything else. He'd use that removal to block the fatigue shot, and then reset from there. Because Zane's at 5, still looking at that breakpoint of like that crippling crush won't kill him. One off of that. Shit, does have that unmovable, so you could discard a card from your hand, get Easter egg, removable this fatigue shot, just pass. See what Alan wants to do in this situation. I think it's just going to be the Easter egg here. He's really contemplating on it though. He has it picked up. I think, okay, finally decides on that Easter egg. I'm gonna get rid of that unmovable from his hand as well. A play that you can do here is if you can discard a card, you block one card. Plus his shoes. Okay, that was a choke stem. Red choke. This is going to half. This fatigue starts going to half the next thing if you let's say hit, right? So you kind of do want to double block this, or you want to one card block plus equipment here, but you don't really want to give the equipment here because you know next turn Zane's going to definitely have at least an arrow that you want to block. Okay, just blocking 3 takes 2. Velen wants you just swing the Anathos for 4. Yeah, okay, so just swing the Anathos for 4. Actually, it's gonna be 3 because of the frailty. It still requires 1 card. else can Zayn do to come back here? Zayn's only lost 2 health in the last couple turns. Alan lost 10. So it's close, starting to close the gap. It was 7 to 30, right? So now it's like 5 to 20. A little bit more doable, but it's still pretty close. Alan still has, a block 2 and 1 on his boots, has block 1 on his chest and his arms here. We know he has the E-Strike from Arsenal. If he probably has a turn where he gets to E-Strike and Anathos, probably looks like pretty good for Alan in that situation if he's allowed to do that. Even coming in for 7 with the E-Strike if he keeps a 1-card hand, like blocks with the next 3 cards. Has a Yellow Raging Onslaught in his deck. I wonder if he thinks this matchup's gonna go long or not. Well, I'll have to ask Zayne about that yellow right there. That's pretty interesting for a inclusion for this matchup, I would think. Zayne thinking about this cross trap reveals that yellow Bolton shot that we saw from the. I don't know if this is the same one that we saw from the Ravenous Trouble a couple turns ago, or if he just had another one in his hand. But looking here, he's gonna pitch this knock, play his Deadeye, okay, and then he's gonna come in with this Bolton shot, coming in for 6. Has go again and the reload attached to it. Let's see what Alan can do here. Looks like he has at least a CNC in hand. This is Terror Sunder, CNC, and another blue. If this does hit, it's gonna have the reload, right? So how often do you think he left the op card on top, right? So the equation here, right, is if the other card in his hand is an arrow and there's a pump on top, he could Death Dealer, play whatever arrow, any 1-cost arrow with a 0-mana pump, and then come in for another 8, so 6 and then 8. Does not have the Deadeye value on this here, but if he blocks 6, and then he comes in with another 8, that kind of feels bad. If he doesn't block this 6, and then has a reload, and it's an arrow on top that he dominates that has an on hit, I guess you could block 1 card plus the flits, but definitely taking damage in some capacity on this turn. So decides to take the 6 here. Doesn't reload, so it looks like he just has an arrow. Yep, hasn't had that Death Dealer. Draw a card. It's gonna be that pump. It's gonna come in for 7 here. Doesn't have the 1-cost arrow, has the 0 cost with this Endless. So now he's coming in for 7 here. So it still could just be a 1-card block plus all the equipment for 7. And then you have a 3-card hand to do E-Strike into E-Strike into CNC. Or you block with 2 cards plus 1 equipment, and then E-Strike into Anathos for 4. Or if you don't want a CNC, you can make the Seismic and swing Anathos instead. See what Alan wants to do here. Okay, looking at 1 equipment piece plus a 2-card block here. Okay, blocks fully for 7 here. Going back to Zayne. Zayne at 5. Alan did keep the CNC. Okay, has the 2-card hander. Going for that 5 with E-Strike, I believe. 5 with Go Again. Makes the most sense here. And then you can for this red after. It's coming for 9. Do the extra little chip damage that he needs to against Zayn, or force a significant amount of his hand. Oh, she's coming for the 7. Actually, didn't think about going for the 7 here, but looks like we go for the 7. You're keeping the CNC then, which is pretty interesting. Zayn pondering on his next move here. See how much he can block from the situation. Pretty much he's around dead to basically almost every dominate here. He's almost dead too at that 5, right? So has to pressure a little bit. But I can see this play from Alan as well, coming in for 7. Probably looking at least a 1-card block from Zayn. Probably more like a 1 to 2 card block from him. Forces him to block with the arrow for that has that 3 block as well. Arsenal is what looked like a CNC from his hand. If he draws a pummel, it's really good. You see CNC pummel. But I imagine any pummel, if you're able to cast pummel currently from Alan's side, you're probably always winning. I don't know if it's even in this matchup. Okay. Zayn blocks for 5, taking 2, go to 3. Alan's on Arsenal, that last card. Draw up. Let's see what Zayn can do with his 2-card hand. Ravenous Rebel. Looks at a Seek and Destroy on top for 2. So Ravenous Rebel's gonna come in for 4. Looks like I want to see 3 chokeslams in Alan's hand. I don't know if they're all blue or if there's any reds mixed in there, because he's playing the 3 reds. Okay, just blocks 3, takes 1, goes to 13. Then it's just an Arsenal and pass from the situation as well. Alan with the 3-card hand plus the card from Arsenal, right? Looks as an impending Visage, another blue. He makes the seismic. I wonder if he just has... Okay, so he's gonna come in with the CNC for 6 here. So, makes that seismic, comes in with the CNC. Is gonna demand 2 cards or 1 card plus some equipment here. Or maybe 2 cards and some equipment, depending on what Zayn's hand is. And you leave me in with the 1 card in his arsenal, probably 2 cards in hand. You're at 13. Looks like there's a blue and then a red in your hand as well. If he gets the arsenal that red, has at least one blue in hand. Would just have to, could dominate plus play it the following turn for 8. But still, like, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4 off the equipment here, plus the 1, plus the 3 from hand. So you're only doing 1 damage if you're coming in with the 8 dominate. And that's also if he just blocks with the credit card. And he already saw 1 sync blow earlier, so you know he's probably playing maybe around a 1 to 3 of that. So most likely a 3 if he's gonna bring it in this matchup. So let's see what Zayn's plan here is. It's like the 4 from the equipment. Take 2, go to 1. Blow up the arsenal. Just a pump. Alan's in our arsenal. Okay, so every single dominate from here will kill Zayn. Basically, Zayn needs to be able to take a significant amount of cards from his opponent's hand, or make it so his opponent can't dominate, play any card there. Also needs to put 2 cards in front of this Anathos forever now, even if it comes just for 4. Does have the Bullseye Breakers, hasn't used it this game. Could be a very explosive play here. This 4-card hand has to be spectacular. Let's see what Zayn can do. Speaking of Zayn, Zayn just has it in his hand already. Is gonna use it. Put the bolt. Gonna put his drill shot in there. Play a search, and then the drill shot for 8 here. Not dominate or anything. Doesn't have go again either. Has 2 cards in his hand. Maybe he has Rain Razors, but even if he has Rain Razors, it's not like. He just pulses by 4. It's only 12 damage. Ellen isn't really in a situation where he would care here. We give up our armor to do this, right? So surely there's something behind this, or this is the only play that Zayn saw that could theoretically have him winning this game here. And it looks like he has quad blue, so depending on whatever his arsenal card is, there's no block 9 here. Okay, so we have 1 Rain Razors. Take 1, put the -1 on his boots here. So arsenal that last card. Has that Search and Destroy. Pitch play that Chokeslam coming in for 8. I wonder what not. Maybe not like. Oh man. I mean, unless you realistically think that your opponent is no arsenal like a defense reaction here as well, because he has the 2 cards in his hand. But even if he has Sync Below, he'd have to have Sync Below 2 and 3 to be able to cover this 8 for Dominate here. Doesn't get greedy though. Is going to take, 3 cards minimum from Zayn's hand because he's at 1. Zayn's not really going to present much back here as well. And then you basically have to take his entire hand almost for the entire rest of the game. You're at 12. And then anytime you want to keep. Okay, so it does have the Sync Below, right? So it isn't going to block for 8. So 2 cards plus the Sync Below. Has 2 cards in his hand. Best play for Zayn here is load an arrow with Death Dealer, draw a pump, pump and then do it. But does have pump with Codex. Third Codex here. It's quite good. Gets to play any zero cost arrow for 7 coming in. Has that ponder as well. Have that frailty. Get a ponder here, but it's just gonna be 7. Oh, and looks like Alan's hand isn't too good. Has a sink below. We see a CNC as well. Alan, look at the arsenal that he can use from his graveyard. Has crippling crush, has choke slams, have E-strikes again. He's picked the first 2 codexes. He's picked double E-strike both times. See which one he picks on this one. Didn't draw the resources or an attack to like really dominate or anything like that. Picks a CNC. There is gonna discard. Looks like a sigil. Yeah, looks like one of the promo sigils. He looks like he's gonna discard. Yep. Then he's gonna come in for 7. You can block for 3, and then come in with that sink below. Yep. Blocks for 7 here. Alan can then play the CNC from Arsenal with the 1 card, take 2 cards out of Zayn's hand as well. With that seismic. Comes in for 5. Zayn does need to have that 3 block plus that 2 block to be able to survive this turn entirely as well. And then gets to play a 3-card hand, 2 cards from his hand, 1 card from his arsenal as well, in the best possible situation, right? If he has quad pumps, obviously has to block with 3 cards. Is the worst possibility here. Alan gets to trade a lot of cards here. Zayn obviously at 1 in a pretty dire situation. Needs Alan to basically just have an unplayable hand or whiff a little bit too much, or Zayn's draw be actually impeccable, right? Like, if he blocks, say he blocks 2 cards here, has 2 cards in his hand, and has pump from Arsenal, Death Dealers puts an arrow in there, draws the 2nd pump, so double pump plus arrow that matters, coming in for about like 11 would be best case scenario here for Zayn as well. Let's see what we got here. Alan double checking what he got. Zayn also double checking what's left in his deck. Has used all 3 codexes of frailty. All of them have been pretty good actually, allowing him to force through a little bit of damage here. Obviously Zayn started this game 7-30 before he even got to play like a strong, powerful like 4 or 5 card hand at all. After Alan's amazing start with Spinal, Crippling, and then having that Rouse E-Strike into Anathos play, that was insane from the Bravo side. See what else Zayn has right now. He's thinking. Yeah, I think the play of like him having double pump plus an arrow is probably like the best play we can have from the situation. This is uniquely that CNC. Looks like he does have the 2-card block, So no block for 5. Okay, Alan has 2 blues, a pummel. So we're going for the blind flip on the Azalea here. Hits an arrow, the Bolton shot. Don't know what color it looks like. It's gonna be going to the crow's nest here. Looks like it's a blue one. Oh man. So just coming for 5, so it's a 1 card plus the 2 equipment if Alan really wants. Looks like he just took 5. Goes to 7. I don't remember if this is like your opponent gets to choose a card, or you just get to discard. Oh, your opponent gets to. Oh, we got the colorful pummel in his hand. I assume it's just gonna be the pummel, but just has the sigil, and then can. So the best thing Alec can do is make another seismic swing Amethyst for 6. Has the sigil to gain 3 more life. Yeah, so there wasn't a way for him to, because of the sigil, block for 5. If that sigil was like any other block 3 card, he could have blocked with the other 2 equipment plus the 5, but Zayne still has to give 2 cards here. Has to both be arrows as well. So the likeliness of him having a 3rd arrow in his hand to Death Dealer is quite low, but does have it. So we get the fatigue shot. Come in for 5 here. Okay, blocking with both his equipment here. And it looks like he blocks with 3 blocks as well. Just soak up the entire 5. Has the seismic. Is going to dominate that Bravo. Come with the Spinal. And Alan gets it. Alan continuing his run. 8-0. We're currently going into the finals. Beating Zayne in a slugfest, honestly. Like, it looked really good from Alan at the very start. And then eventually, Zayne kind of pulled it back, honestly. It was 7-30, and now it ended at 1-7. He was a little bit far behind most of the game, but did make a valiant effort to try to come back there. Some things not going his way, not having the most efficient hands for the rest of it, but good game to Alan. Alright, that's going to be our semifinals from the Arcane AGE event. Let's go on to that finals next, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.